What's up, guys? Mike Lewis here, and welcome to the Mike Lewis podcast. If you guys want to keep up with me on social media, you can follow me on Instagram at Mike Lewis Official, and you can follow me on Twitter at MikeLew52. It's where most of my updates come. If you're enjoying my content, give me a like and a subscribe. And without further ado, let's just dive right into this episode. All right, Brittany, how are you doing? Thanks for coming on today.
Hi, honey. Thank you so much for having me. It feels good to be back on some podcasts and to get our gossip on.
Yeah, I mean, it's been a minute for you, you know, like you're still like posting up on social media and stuff, but I'd say like for the most part, you've almost like sort of taken a step back and away from like kind of the spotlight of the show. Would you say it's that like organically happened for you, or are you intentionally doing that?
Yeah, definitely a little bit of both. So at first it was I had a lot going on in my life, and I was like, all right, like when I was 20, I think I just turned 27. You have the whole world watching you, and I just went through like my first, big breakup. But you know how that is in your adult life, like your first adult life breakup. You're like, oh my, like what do I do now? Where do I go? Who am I? Yeah. And so it's kind of where I feel like every person can relate to that. We've all been there, unless you're an alien. Lucky bitches. But yeah, so it's kind of it kind of happened organically. I kind of got caught up in a bunch of just that wild party stage, like what any young person getting introduced to the fame world gets into. So, and then I decided to choose. I was like, wow, like mentally, I'm actually like in a better space than I have been in a long time. And I just got to fully focus on me for a couple years. And it was the best decision I've ever made, because it feels good to not have to, feels good to kind of find yourself and fall completely in love with yourself, and it took me a while to get there, but I finally got there, and I am addicted to it. It's the best addiction ever, is to be just in love with yourself, and it's a comfortability thing. It's a hard growing up on like international TV, because that's exactly what I did. I got involved when I was 24 till I'm 30 now, and you do a lot of growing up from 24 to 30, definitely. And I haven't been on a show, 3 years now. So really 24 to 28, like I just kind of, you do a lot of growing, and I was just growing on international TV is not easy. Definitely with social media these days, because people are mean.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's not the worst thing in the world to get your zen on, like after probably going through like, what would you say, maybe 4 years or so, or like having to answer to like fans every whim in a certain sense,
Yeah, and you have no privacy, like no nothing. And I'm not complaining, like it's such a freaking blessing. But when you're lost yourself, like it takes a couple years to kind of transition into finding who you are, not who social media and the world is trying to tell you to be,
Yeah, that's like usually one of my favorite parts about some of these episodes I do, is to kind of like dissect like the social media and like the sort of mental health aspect of things with reality TV, because I feel like there's not a lot or many of that, in today's day and age, especially with reality TV. It's kind of like, almost like, I don't want to say superficial, but like in a way, it's almost like a superficial type of, environment in a sense. People post and then everybody thinks like, oh, it's sunshines and rainbows for them. But being in front of the public eye and having like essentially your life documented for the entire world, both when you film the show, then 5 months later when it airs, and then however many so months after that when they're watching what you tweet or post on your story. Were you ever, or how often maybe were you challenged maybe with some stuff fans would say, or just in general, like how difficult was navigating that for you?
So it got pretty difficult. I got thrown the whole bully thing because of what happened back in the day with me, Kayla, Jimmy, and Kaylee. That one was rough. Like, I got told every way. Like, people said things that no human should ever say, like, to anyone. I can tell you any way to get raped, any way to get how to kill yourself. Like, things that are unspeakable that you shouldn't wish upon anyone are the things that we get thrown at. You know what I'm saying? And we're a different breed. I swear. It takes a strong motherfucker to deal with the words that's thrown our way. But that comes with it. I will say this. I have met some of the most amazing people in my life because of the struggles I went through. And I ended up, like, I'm actually really good friends with a handful of that started out to be fans. Now I talk to them on the regular. We text. If we're in the same city, you know, we'll try to link up, or we do link up. And, you know, and knowing that I've helped a lot of people be unapologetically them is what makes it all so much more worth it. Like, putting my life fully out there, yeah, it's hard as crap, but I also got to change and help other people realize, like, wow, this is normal. Like, it's okay to be that way. Like, all right, cool. It's not screw what society tells me. Like, that's normal. That's okay. And I like knowing that I am helping change, you know, the way that mainstream media is trying to tell us what we should be. Because it shouldn't be like that. Like, we grew up in an age where we didn't have that problem, you know? Thank God. Like, I feel so bad for the kids that are, like, in their teens now that having to deal with all this, because we didn't have this. And thank God, because I'm just so glad I'm here now to, like, kind of help the kids that are younger, like in their young 20s, even the teenagers that follow the show, like, help them, like, look, this is normal. It's okay to be a little crazy sometimes. We're females. We have a little bit of hormones. Release it.
Yeah, right.
We're not always crazy. Just sometimes we're hormonal and passionate.
Yeah. No, but I noticed, like, you and Cara, Maria, and Paulie have actually gotten, like, rather close over the last year or so. Would you say that friendship kind of blossomed?
So Cara and I on the show, so it's funny. So me and Cara, my first challenge, Dirty 30. I'm walking up the stairs. Of course, I'm with the Are You the One crew. You know, we always stick to who we know. And I'm like, okay, you guys fill me in. Like, what's the detail on this person and that person? And Amanda, she was like, okay, so Cara, she's like the type to, you know, like, do like voodoo and stuff. I immediately stopped and was like, oh, well, I want to meet her now. Like, that sounds like my kind of girl. Okay. So me and Cara, we immediately hit it off because we're just both we're the weirdos. We really are. Like, we don't give a crap, like, what people think. And, like, definitely Cara now, she's nothing like when people are like, really? Because Cara used to actually, and I'm like, no, Cara's grown and she actually don't give a crap what you think now. Like, Cara's actually like this boss ass bitch, and you're gonna respect the woman she's turned into. And we've always stayed close ever since then. Like, even like on shows, like, it's weird how we were always kind of aligned together on shows. Like, I think the last 2 shows that we did together, we were roomies together because we did the tarot card readings. We did the little girl chats late at night, the slumber parties where we gossip and eat snacks at 2 a.m. You know, like, that was just me and Cara. That's what we did. And then after the show, it's just kind of just brought us closer because we both kind of got to the point to where we were like, you know what, screw what, like, social media thinks of us. We're just going to be us. Like, who cares? Let's be weird together. It's cool.
Yeah.
We're actually like, you know what? We're cool. So we're going to represent the weirdos because, you know, weirdos unite.
Right.
So we just kind of, been close ever since. And then me and Paulie, I used to hate Paulie. But then, because, you know, he kind of ruined my last relationship. So freaking Paulie. But it's the name of the game. I respect it. It was a hell of a political game he played, and credit's due where credit is due. It doesn't matter, even though it was against me, he deserves credit because that was a hell of a political game he played towards me, and I got to give him props for that. That's respect. And as a businessman, he's a hell of a businessman, and he's actually a pretty great dude. I hated to say it a couple years ago when he grew on me, but Paulie is freaking awesome. Love the dude. Wouldn't change him for the world.
How often do you two bring up that moment from Final Reckoning where he made that political move on you? Like, do you guys joke about it now, or is it kind of one of those situations that's like a little bit of a toss up?
We completely joke about it. Yeah. Yeah, it's a big
Yeah.
joke now. Yeah. Like I'm like, like I said, credits due where credits due. And honestly, he helped him doing that brought out a lot of true colors in people that I was not expecting. So him doing that, I got to see a lot of true colors from other people that I thought were friends or people I could trust. So I was like, okay, Polly, I actually kind of owe you a thank you.
Who in particular, if you don't mind sharing, that you saw true
Brad,
colors
for
in?
example, like I was like, all right, like you've been in this game for way too long, bro. You know political moves, like once your mind goes, the game goes. You can't play.
Mm,
Once you're mentally tapped, you're fucked. You might
yeah.
as well voluntarily just go get sent into an elimination and just go home. But yeah, and then God, who else? Nelson disappointed me because Nelson, he was like, yeah, she probably did, dude. And I'm like, Nelson, you're supposed to be like my best fucking friend. What? Like, okay, all right, Nelson. And there was a couple other random ones too that I'm just like, all right, noted. Next time I see you. It's like I'm not the weak girl anymore. Like I'm no longer the underdog or the layup. Like I work out now. Like I'm ready. So I'm like, all right, when I get back on, game on. I still get phone calls. I see you.
Oh, you do.
So I won't fully lay out who I'm going to come after for whenever I get back on. But I will say I do have a list.
How often do you still keep up with the show? Like, is it something that like if you're not doing anything, like you'll flip it on, or maybe you'll just keep up through social media? Like, how often would you say that you follow or keep up with?
Usually I keep up with it pretty often, usually through like social media. And then I still chat with a few people from the show, and I'll be like, so fill me in, like, what's the tea, because like you never know when you're going to be on the next season. So I always like to be updated on like, all right, what did my alliance get caught up in this season? Like, what's up? Like,
Yeah, yeah,
what'd you
yeah.
get me into now in case I'm on next time with you fuckers? So I do try to keep up with it just because in future shows when I'm back on, I'm like, all right, I know you getting a little shady. You're still cool.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, your season of Are You the One, I would say, is probably served as like what many would call like one of the more feeder seasons in the sense of like how many have come from your show and like gone on to like do sustained tenures on the show. Like you've got three of your Are You the One originals still on this current season right now. We got
Yeah. Yep.
Nelson, Amanda, Devin, right? Devin was with you guys too, right?
Yep.
He was. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah,
Oh, there
so
were so many of us that's made it. There's me, Nelson, Hunter, Amanda, even Cheyenne. She ended up
Cheyenne.
getting pregnant, so she would have still been on if she didn't end up having a baby. So she probably would have still kept going strong. Even Chuck, he showed up for an episode. And I was so mad about that season because I was lifting 35 pounds like it was nothing, like just bicep curling 35 pounds. I was ready to kill that season. That was my comeback season. I was coming back for Natalie from Big Brother. And yeah, that didn't last long, but it's fine.
Yeah, that format in particular on Final Reckoning kind of did a lot of people dirty. You know what I mean? Like you guys in particular. I mean, we obviously got to see the drama aspect unfold and like the redemption house per se, but that's redemption. You know what I mean? Like it would have
Right.
been interesting to kind of see everybody get like a fair shake, just all in the main house from the jump. You know what I mean? Like I
Oh,
don't
the
know.
drama. The drama would have been so good.
Exactly. It would have been like a free for all, right? Like had like there was so many teams that season. Just throw them all in one house.
Hello?
I don't know. I don't know what the thought process was. Maybe they just didn't want the main house being like too filled up. I don't know. But
I don't know what that was. Maybe they had their capacity limit that we're used to now. Maybe they had it already planned out before. Yeah, I don't know because I still think that till this day, that Final Reckoning, they should have, because the people that we had, oh my God, everyone in that house together, whew, it would have been fireworks of drama.
You still had like obviously Big Brother and UK people there, but in my personal opinion, I feel like Final Reckoning was the last quote unquote like old school type of
Agreed.
challenge season
Absolutely.
because it's gotten like very, very over the top with the diversity in which they're casting from shows and networks, countries at this point.
Dude, I don't know anybody anymore. Like, I tried catching up on this latest season because, like I said, I like to, tune in on little clips, like when big stuff happens. I'm nosy, and I like to see what my friends are doing. And so, like, I'll be watching, and I'm like, who the fuck are all these people? I know, like, 5. I've never even heard of this show.
Let me throw some shows at you here.
Wings, I think that's awesome. Spread your wings, get new people in, but get them from like people that like we've heard of, because I don't know anybody.
Well, here's the thing you got to remember. Like someone like yourself, right? You come from Are You the One, which is a built-in U.S. MTV show, right?
Right.
We're allowed to see your character development, like where you came from and things of that nature. Whereas, like, if you pull like I don't know, like somebody from Germany who's from like Double Dutch, like I don't know,
some random show.
Yeah, who nobody knows, right? I mean, why would you want to root for that person in an elimination against someone like a Corey or like a Devin? It just doesn't make sense ethically. You know what I mean?
No, not at all. Well, look, I've been training. So whenever I get back on, I'll do us justice, old school version, and we'll get rid of them newbies.
When were you last called, if you can share?
This past season.
Oh,
the one airing right now. Yeah. Unfortunately, the day that we would have been flying out would have been literally 2 days after I closed on my house. So wow. I kind of can't film and move at the same time.
Yeah.
So unfortunately this year I had to pull the big girl card and make the proper decision to move. I already closed on the house, so I had to move. That's kind of something you can't avoid. But I mean, it worked. I believe everything happens for a reason, and I have no regrets. So like I said, you never know when you're going to get the call. So I constantly stay training. And you gotta be, anything can happen, and you're never gone. Like, I love when people are like, why don't you do the show anymore? I'm like, no, I took a little hiatus, but we're never gone. We're like cockroaches. You can't kill us.
Right. And you had kind of like that 3 seasons, like boom, 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 like all in a row, right? And it kind of seemed like you were like, taking form into like one of the top female stars, or at least it would appear. I felt like you didn't even scratch your surface yet.
No, not at all. And what made me mad is that like I said, I was bicep curling 35 pounds, and I'm tiny, So for me to do that, that's bruh. Like, I was ready to go. Like, I had Brad was helping me train, so like he taught me all like the good ways to train, like challenge wise. So I was ready to finally come in, and I was coming in Final Reckoning like, look, I need no alliances. F every single one of you. I had a Cara mentality where I was like, send me the F in. Go ahead, because I'll be right back in to send your ass home. Like, I was physically capable. And the fact that I didn't get to show that, I was like, I'm finally mentally and physically capable to like literally dig 6 graves in less than 6 graves. I literally dug 3 full graves in less than an hour. I was already going on my 3rd grave when CT was still on his 1. Like, I was ready.
You were putting in the workload then, and everybody else was. You were putting in the workload, and then everybody else.
Heck yeah, I was killing it, man. Hey, I worked out like a crazy biatch for that season. I was ready. So when I make my comeback, I'm coming in hot because, hey, I didn't get all these muscles for nothing. Well, I mean, I got them also to protect myself because people are crazy, but.
Yeah. And I think like that's like the root of the maybe the issue right now, and why some or a lot of fans maybe aren't resonating with the current product. You know what I mean? Like, is because they miss like who they want. Like people like yourself, Cara, Paulie, even
who they
Natalie.
grew to love.
Yeah. I mean, this current season, I mean, they had like it was the lowest rated episode, I think, in like the show's history or something like that.
Oh no.
Yeah.
You know, they said that, you know, it's funny. Are You the One? Our season 3, we were the guinea pig season. Apparently after season 2, ratings went down so low that our season, that's why we never got a reunion show, because they were like, they're done, like like this is it. Y'all don't get a reunion because y'all are the guinea pigs. We're gonna see if y'all might pick it back up. Well, you saw where it came from that. So I'm like, dang it, we deserve that reunion season now, because, you know, we are the reasons why Are You the One came back.
Wow. Was that
so that's
your
a little
goal?
fun fact.
Was that your goal to get onto television, or how did that process snowball?
Kind of, yeah. So, okay, so before I got into Are You the One, I did a lot of acting in Atlanta. I did a lot of featured work, a lot of extra work. I was on Need for Speed. I was on Vacation, the like spinoff of National Lampoon.
Yeah.
Great movie. It's a good movie. I worked on Vampire Diaries, the originals, a lot of Tyler Perry movies, a lot of VH1 TV shows. Like, I had a great career going on acting wise. But then I recently at that time fell in love with like the behind the scenes. Like I would catch myself like in between takes if I wasn't needed. I'd be following the camera guys like, what does that do? Like, oh, that's cool. What's this? You know, like I wanted to know more about the behind the scenes, the directing part of it, all of that. So, and then one of the casting agencies, she was like, hey, I came across this MTV show. It's a reality show. It's a dating show. If you're single, you can win up to $1 million. Like, do you want me to submit your information? I was like, well, I'm single, $1 million, MTV. You said 3, great. Yes, I'm in. Like, submit my stuff, you know? And the next month, I got the Skype interview. And then the next one, they flew me to LA, did that interview, then did the psych test. And then 3 months later, I got the call that I got it. And then then I was like, all right, reality show. This is a great way to see if I want to be in front of the camera or behind. What other better way to see if you want to be in full public eye, you know, a reality show. Perfect. So that's what I did. And I fell in love with both. I love being in front and behind. I love the directing side of it. It's so, on the challenge, they'll always get on to me because I'll be behind the producers like, hey, so what is that? Like, what's going on? Like, oh, that's cool. And they're like, go do something. And I'm like, okay. So yeah, they kind of get annoyed with me because I'm like, hey, so what does that button do right there on that camera? And then they'll be like recording a fight and I'll be behind them with my face like over their shoulder, like, oh, that's cool. Oh, so that's what that button does. And they'll like kick from behind me, like, stop, I'm trying to film this fight. So yeah, it's a love for both sides. Yeah, in front and behind the camera. It's addicting. It's fun. You know, there's a lot of chaos on both ends.
Yeah. Do you know how similar that the Are You the One auditioning process was to, like, say, a Real World? Because I've heard millions of Real World stories, but obviously it's different in the sense they have to narrow it down to only 7 people usually. So that's like a lot, I guess, more of a process, whereas like Are You the One's like a lot more cast members. How similar do you know how similar the process works?
So I really don't know too much about the Real World part of it, but I will say that it's similar in the sense that we do the same Skype interview. They want to know your whole background. Actually, now that I'm thinking about it, they're kind of very similar. I don't know how the auditioning part is whenever they get flown to LA to do that part, but I do know that like for us, it was, it's very, they like to, all the producers kind of line up, and I feel like it's probably the same because it's all Viacom. So they kind of line up in a line, and it's like half of them are the bad cops and the other half are the good cops. So while they're interviewing you, you got the good cops that are kind of like praising you, asking you the fabulous questions, making you feel like, oh, I got this show, you know? And then the bad cops, you know, they're over there like asking like the mean questions, trying to break you down, get you emotional, all that stuff. And one of my good friends, he actually was going to do one of the Real World things, and it sounded like it's kind of like what they had to do almost, except for it was like a one-on-one situation. It wasn't like a lineup of producers.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I think that is what Are You the One, from what I've heard from others, is kind of like a line of producers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's intimidating because you're like, all of a sudden, like the bad cops of the producers are actually like the sweetest when you get to know them. And after I got casted, I finally told them, I was like, man, you made me a nervous wreck. I thought you hated me. And they're like, yeah, it's really hard playing that role because they'll be the funniest guys that have to play the bad cops. And I'm like, how'd you act that well? Because you're actually the sweetest human.
So it was all virtual, the auditioning, or did you have to go in person for any like audition processing?
Only one time. So everything was all virtual except for the one flight to LA where I actually had to go into the building and then sit in one chair while I was being judged by the 6 producing judges. It was definitely entertaining, that's for sure.
Do you remember any questions that like stick out for you that like you feel like maybe could have shifted them into wanting you, or was it just a pretty fast tracked thing for you?
Oh, absolutely. So it made me nervous. So I was Miss Teen Hawaii and back when I was 16. So they told me whenever I mentioned that, he was the mean cop, the main producer. He was like, so right now all I'm seeing is all smiles and pageant queen. Like this is all I'm getting is a pageant queen just faking smiles. He was like, that's not what we want. Like we want the real you, and we're just getting a pageant queen. We don't want that. I was like, I'm sorry. It's going to take a lot more to get under my skin to piss me off and to get a reaction. And then so like just from him saying that, I left and I called my mom and I was like, I didn't get it. Like I didn't get it. They thought I was just being too smiley and pageant-y, when in reality I just don't. I have a long fuse. It takes a while, You'll piss me off, but it's going to take you a while to get there, and you don't want to get there, So, I mean, like I said, I was a pageant girl, so I'm used to mean people. Like, that's nothing new. I can handle that, So. Can you hear me?
Oh, yeah, you're good.
Okay, good. Sorry, I hit a button, and I was like, oh, crap. But, yeah, so I was like, I called my mom, I was like, I didn't get it. Like, there's no way. He hated me. Like, he told me that I was being fake the whole time, and I don't look like I could make it for TV, that I'm too nice. And then 3 months later, I got the call that I got it, and I was like, Mom, I guess he liked it. But I guess it worked. I mean, in that world, I mean, you don't want someone that's always fighting, I guess. We have enough of those. So I guess being the little pageant queen till the pop-off was necessary worked.
Yeah,
Because if you watch season 3 of Are You the One, I popped off a lot.
Yeah, never a bad thing, huh?
Yeah, hey, me and Hunter actually got into a huge, massive fight in Are You the One, but they never aired it. Me and Hunter were actually supposed to be rivals in Rival 3. It wasn't supposed to be. Yeah, it wasn't supposed to be Devin and Cheyenne, or was it Nelson and
Amanda?
It ended up being Nelson and Amanda, and then Devin and Cheyenne. It was going to be Devin and Cheyenne, and it was supposed to be me and Hunter, not Amanda and Nelson. But I had a sprained meniscus at the time, so I couldn't do it. But it was supposed to be me and Hunter instead of Amanda and Nelson. A little fun fact.
That would have been fun, right? I think you guys are a pretty good team.
Dude, me and Hunter, we would have freaking killed it, dude. We would have killed it. And the drama, like, me and Hunter, we're very identical, so we, like, get into it when it would have been entertaining, that's for sure. But challenge-wise, we definitely would have killed it, for sure. Because he's so calm and collective, like, even in, like, the most pressured situations, he's so, like, look at me, it's fine, we're good, you're safe. Like, he's kind of like that person you want to go to when you're in a panic attack. He's like, Woosah, and I'm like, yes, master. Yes, Yoda.
What was that fight between you two about?
What was it? I think I remember what it was. He kept thinking, like, everyone kept swearing because we're both Southern that we were a perfect match. And he swore we'd be a perfect match. So he kept pushing, like, us being a perfect match, like going on dates and stuff like that. And I'm like, Hunter, we're not a freaking match. Da-da-da-da-da-da, just going in. And then Hunter's got a pop off mouth like I do. So he'd be like, you know what? F you, Brittany, blah, blah, blah. We could be, and you're not even trying. I'm like, you're not even my type. It was just dumb and child. It was just two fools acting fools. When two country bumpkins get into a argument, it was funny. No one probably understood a word we said with all the southern slang being thrown around, but it's fine.
Yeah. And like that was obviously your original show, and then from speaking with like a lot of people, it always feels like their original show and like their original cast is always the one that they hold kind of close to them and remember maybe most, or like hold in a certain regard, as opposed to maybe like their second shows or third shows they end up doing. How do you feel like that stacks up for you? Like, would you feel like the crew that you were with on Are You the One has like more of a special place to you than maybe the people you made with the challenge, or are they right about on the same wavelength?
Honestly, so my biggest issue in my life is loyalty. And one thing I'll say about my Are You the One fam is that we are all very loyal. Like our alliance will never like it's probably the strongest alliance ever. Like we don't I would literally at one point I almost threw myself into elimination because I couldn't vote for either one of them. Like they're my family. You know, we're family. We're stuck together and we're gonna fight together. We're gonna go tooth and nail for one another because we know we can trust each other. When everyone else is so wishy washy, we're like we know, like for example, me, Nelson, Hunter, and Devin, like we know for a fact us four would never turn on one. Knock on wood. You never know with these damn shows, but I know for a fact us four nothing to ever worry about, like at all. Like I know whenever if those three are in the troika or whatever the main macho thing is at that
Yeah.
during that season, I know for a fact which if one of my boys are in there, they're gonna fight for me. Like I would never doubt it. Like we're just our loyalty is just we've never done anything to each other to not distrust each other. All we've done is prove the opposite, which is trust. So, and that's loyalty to us is everything. And I think it's a mutual thing for all of us on that one. Even Amanda, like I know for a fact I could, even though I'm really good friends with Jenna and Cara, two people that Amanda does not like at all, I know for a fact I could trust Amanda still, you know?
Mm.
So it's a weird alliance. It's like, yeah, we're some loyal bitches. We're loyal to a fault. It gets us in a lot of it gets me in a lot of trouble. God.
It would have been so cool if, like, say, like, throwing you and Hunter back into the fold and then having Devin, Nelson, Amanda all there. I feel like we could be looking at an Are the 1-3 takeover on one of these upcoming shows.
And well, what's annoying is that I thought that's where we were headed until after the after Final Reckoning. That's where I thought we were headed, was kind of like a real world versus Are You the One, and then Big Brother, like us three mix, you know? But then all of a sudden it's like a weird, I don't understand, but hey, I'm here, whatever works for them, I support. But yeah, that's where I thought we were leaning towards, was kind of like an Are You the One versus Real World with a little splash of Big Brother, which I thought was perfect. I thought it was a great mix. Great drama, great competition.
I just like, and I think I'm speaking for a lot of, or most people, like Final Reckoning or like Vendettas, any of those trilogy seasons, like that vibe in particular, we didn't know what we had as fans when we had it, like until we lost it, you know? And it's a shame to say, but it's true.
It's so funny that you say that because I hear that so often, but I just assume it's just my fans, of course, you know, they're going to say that. But hearing that from like another like point of view, like that's what I've always thought. Like so many people, like now they're like, you know, God, I would do anything to have the crew back. Are You the One? I miss you guys. Like, and just like what you just said, I'm getting a lot of that. And I'm like, you know, one day, like I said earlier, we're never gone. We're like cockroaches. We always come back.
Yeah. I think like when everybody saw, I think it was last summer, it was like you, Hunter, Nelson, we're all like, and Wes maybe were like working out because I think like it was for the friends and benefits thing. Everybody kind of assumed like that was when the rumor mill started churning. Like they thought that you guys were training together for a challenge. But I mean, I don't know.
Technically, we kind of were because, like I said, you never know. So we're always training for one. Like even me, like knowing that nothing's going to be filmed for a while, like you never know, like be on standby. This whole time that I've been moving into the house, I'm like, you never know. So work out and train. So we're always going to be ready. We're never not ready, you know, because like I said, we're like cockroaches. You can't kill us. We can pop back in 5 years later.
Yeah.
Well, because for us, it doesn't feel like 5 years. Like, it doesn't feel like I've been gone for 3 years, you know? It feels like yesterday I was just on Final Reckoning, you know? Like, it doesn't feel that long because everything happened so quick.
Mm. How many, like, post-show opportunities did you get, like, because of the show? Because I know, like, some are the one stories, but, like, mainly real world. They would send them on, like, bar appearances, speaking engagements, and stuff like that. Did you get to go on, like, any of those or, like, any opportunities, like, through the show, perhaps?
I did, thankfully. 2017, end of 2017 and most of 2018, we did some awesome appearance gigs. Excuse me. And when I tell you, they were so much fun. They were great. Meeting up with all the fans, like, I tell all my fans all the time, like, if it wasn't for them, like, if it wasn't for y'all, we wouldn't be anything, you know? Like, if it wasn't for fans, if it wasn't for podcasts, like, none of that, we wouldn't be shit. We really wouldn't. So any opportunity that, like, I got to meet up with fans and, like, just kind of spread the love and get to meet everybody, like, it was the best feeling ever. And a lot of the stuff we did like a big golf tournament that, like, helped raise money and stuff for, like, I think it was the Wounded Warriors thing that they have. I think it was that one. I can't remember. There were so many random ones. But like, knowing, one, we're doing something for a great cause. Two, we're meeting so many fans, and they are some of the best people ever. They really are. They are wild and crazy. I was like, it's one reason why I love the challenge, because we attract people as crazy as we are, and this is my type of shit. This is what I live for. But we did a lot of cool stuff. We did stuff in Orlando, New York, Chicago. I think we did one in Atlanta. We did one, right in Atlanta. And then Orlando was fun. I think I already said Orlando. All over the place. And like I said, they were just a pure blast. I got to meet so many cool people. I finally got to meet Emily Strom. Love that girl. She's such a beautiful soul. Worship her. But yeah, so on top of meeting fans, I got to meet some of my favorite OG challengers.
Yeah. So you won the golf tournament, I would presume, right?
Duh. I was basically the caddy, okay? I just drove around handing out beers. I was like, you want a drink? I got you. I would just go around with my little crew, and I would just socialize with everyone's little crews.
Hey,
Don't give me a golf cart, basically.
Well,
I basically make it into a four-wheeler. I flipped a couple.
I would assume, like, I mean, you're in a nature area, right? Like, I'd assume, like, four-wheelers are a big thing by where you're at, right?
Oh, absolutely. I'm as Southern as they come. Four-wheeling, all of it. So for me, I'm like, give me anything four-wheeled. Even that's why my big old blue Jeep outside. Like, give me something that can go off-road. Hey, and golf carts, they can go off-road now. They're not just for the course.
I go to Pennsylvania a lot in the summer, and there's a lot of, like, wooded areas around there. That's like a big four-wheeling type thing. But the only thing I can't do with is the bugs that come in PA. It's like a little too much for my liking. But
imagine how it is here in Georgia.
You guys get a lot of bugs there?
Oh my God, so many. And ticks are so bad. I have 3 animals, and I love to hike. We have great little hiking areas all around us. And when I tell you, the bugs. That's why I'm so glad autumn and winter's coming, because the bugs can go back to hell for the next few months. Because I am over it. Like, they need to go home. So one reason, like, I have this big, beautiful porch. It's going to make it all blurry, but I have this massive porch, beautiful, like, patio furniture. But one more month and I'll be out there when those bugs go back to hell, because I ain't doing it. Nope. Nope. I don't do bugs. Never have, never will. That'll be my first challenge I fell at and go home.
Yeah, get purged on that, huh?
God, let me not say that, because they're gonna make sure that happens for me.
Yeah, they're gonna listen to this, and then they're gonna make the first challenge at 38. It's gonna be go.
Just kidding. I love bugs. Love them. They're so tasty. Protein. Yum.
Yeah. I think my favorite moment of yours was probably the burn vote on Leroy, because, like, it created, like, such, like, an iconic, like, television moment. Like, I guess, like, from like a game standpoint, I could see why you might take a liking to or dislike to it, but as like a just a pure like entertainment standpoint and like a fan perspective, like that had to be up there in terms of like the moments of Dirty 30. And quite honestly, I'm surprised that you guys weren't partners on Final Reckoning, you and Leroy.
I was pretty shocked too, to be honest, because that's why like I would have never thought it would have been my ex, just because like that had nothing to do.
Yeah, like he had been removed for like what at that point it had been 4 years since his last TV appearance. So that's why.
Hello, yeah, and like give me like juicy, somebody now with drama like Tori. Me and Tori had all that big stuff go. Me and Kayla. I could keep me and Leroy. Like I could keep naming so many good partners I could have had. And me and Leroy, like, I was shocked to find that it wasn't Leroy. Like, when I saw that he was on the same bus that I was in to run down, I was like, okay, well, you're not my partner. Shit, who the hell's my partner? I was like, God, I don't think I have drama with anyone else. Like, who the hell is it gonna be? And yeah, it wasn't Leroy. I was disappointed in that one because I love Leroy. That's my boy. I felt so bad. And then we ended up being in the same redemption house after. I walked in and I just gave Lee the biggest hug. I was like, I will make this up to you till the day I die. Actually, in Vendettas, I made it up to him and I completely turned on my alliance with Devin. Whenever I was supposed to say Joss's name I was supposed to say Leroy's name to get rid of Bananas, his alliance. And I promised Leroy that I would make it up to him, and I'm a woman of my word. I will never, go against my word. Like I said, I'll throw myself into an elimination before I go against what I promised someone. So I looked at Devin, and like I said earlier, with our alliance, like we stick together. We're a strong alliance. That's why we always everyone comes after us because they know we're strong together. But I looked at Devin and I was like, I'm sorry. And I remember I looked back when TJ came to me to say a name to get sent in. I looked at Devin and I did my little shrug and I was like, Joss, I'm sorry, honey. I love you, but it's you. And I looked at Leroy. I was like, thumbs up, Lee. I love you.
I mean, you may have set the stage for like arguably the greatest elimination by voting in Joss. You know what I mean? Like, because if you didn't vote him in, we could have saw like someone else go in against Derek. But
it would have been Leroy against Derek. Yeah. And Derek's a pit bull. Oh, watching Joss and those pictures that they have of me, Jimmy, and Johnny Bananas together, I still have it. I'll send it to you after this. It is so funny. Yeah. Every single one of our faces watching Joss and Derek go at it. Like, I'm like this, like, and then Johnny's just like, and then Jimmy's just, I'll send you the little collage of us three. It's so funny. Oh my God. It's gold. It's pure gold. Yeah, that was probably one of the best eliminations ever. That's for sure. That was probably one of my favorites.
How long did that go on for? Like,
oh my God, the fact that they didn't even air like the proper time that this went on. It started, I want to say we started about like 9. It went on till, no, it was about 10 when they started. It went on till about midnight, almost 1. We were out there for hours. Wow. While they did this, and like they made it look like it was a 30-minute fight or like an hour fight. No, they were going at it for going on 2 hours. It was insane, and neither one of them were gassing out. No one was gassing. Like I said, it was like watching 2 pit bulls fight. It was a Rottweiler versus a pit bull. No one was giving up. No one was unlatching that jaw. And I love both of them. Like Derek's my honey. Joss it's Joss. Like, how can you not love Joss, Like, I mean, come on. So you got 2 of the purest souls, like, literally fighting each other, and you just want to, like, I wanted to get in the middle of it and be like, no, just stop. I can't, like, all of us, we all felt that way at one point. Like, we all looked at them like, please just end it. Like, we can't take it anymore. Like, we don't want to watch it. Stop. Like, forfeit this shit. We can't handle this anymore. It's like you're 2 golden boys fighting, Yeah. It was hard. It was a hard one, but it was a good one. It was a hell of a good one.
Yeah, I got to know the tea about this because I heard before the elimination, Derek like ran up to you to like, I don't like say hi or like try and kiss you or something like that. And like he didn't know that you and Brad were like a thing on the show.
So I don't know. Did he? Oh,
I heard this.
wait. Hold on. It's vaguely coming back. Okay, yes, he did. Okay, it's not that he came in for a kiss. So he didn't know. Okay, so Brad, he got super concerned that me and Derek had like a serious thing. So
Mm.
Brad was super like, I'm not trying to step on my buddy's toes. Like, oh my God. And I was like, no, me and Derek, like, it really wasn't like that. Like, we're just great friends. And then he comes on the show, and he did come in to give me a hug. I don't know if he came in for a kiss, but he came in for a hug. And, I love Derek, so I gave him the biggest hug ever. But I don't know if he came in for a kiss. I don't think so, but he could have. But in the chaos of everything, I don't know. I'm going to have to investigate on that one, because now I'm curious.
This was just like a urban legend. I mean, I had to ask. You know what I mean? Like,
Well, I'll investigate. But we definitely came in hot for a hug, because I love that baby. I love him so much.
you're like my investigator right now for all the tea. It seems like.
I got you, babe. I got your email. I got your contact info now. I'll send you all the tea. I need someone to gossip with.
Yeah, right.
I think Cara gets tired of all my gossip. She's like, can you just read my tarot cards? And I'm like, okay.
But
I'm
there
like,
was
all
nothing
right.
serious, right?
Huh?
Nothing serious between you and Derek?
No, nothing serious. Me and Derek was more kind of like just like a fun thing, and then we had CT instigating. CT was like,
Yeah.
"Oh, just make out already," and I'm like, all right, you're hot, come here. I'm like, come here, Derek, you're mine. I'll claim you. But no,
Yeah.
I respect Derek too much to put the siren spell on him.
Yeah, right.
He's too innocent, too sweet. I can't do that to someone too sweet and innocent,
Yeah. What was the deal with the suitcase situation on Vendetta? It's like, why did you like take part in it? Like, were you just like,
Okay.
kind of like a long night of drinking? Like, what led you to want to?
A lot of drinking. And so what had was, okay, all right, I need my hot tea for this one and the popcorn. Okay, so what happened was Kaylee turned on our alliance earlier that day by putting Devin in. So me and Nelson immediately go in like, this bitch just turned on all of us by turning on one of our guys. Like, you know how alliances work. You watch the show. You mess with one person in that alliance, the whole alliance is kind of screwed, So we took it personally, like, oh, now you just completely screwed over. Like, now we're at risk. Like, that's one less person. Like, now it's down to 3 of us, We went from 5 to now maybe 3, And that's when 2 of them are Hunter and Nelson, which are always someone's always coming after them. Always. They never catch a break. So when the more you drink, I had Nelson whispering in my ear a little bit more and more, saying, she turned on our alliance. Like, how are you going to be nice to her after she turned on our alliance? And then, you know how it is when you're drunk, you're like, yeah, you got a valid point. She did turn on our alliance. She's ruining our chance at money. Like, oh, hell no. She's leaving our room, because we had one request when we moved her into our bedroom. We were like, look, we don't do drama here. It was me, Cara, Natalie, and Jimmy. And this was like, Jimmy usually she doesn't have much drama. She just sits back and listens to the tea,
Mm-hmm.
So we're all kind of like, all right, no drama. And, you can move your mattress in. So it's what she did. She moved her mattress upstairs into our room. And then when she turned on our alliance, we all went out, did a lot of drinking, and we came back and we were like, no, she's getting the hell out of our room. Like, she's getting out of here. Like, she's not going to stay in our room. Like, she disrespected us. She turned on the alliance. Like, let's get her out. So we went old school challenge and grabbed the mattress and threw it over the balcony onto the couch. We threw it all on a couch now. Let's throw that in there. We threw the mattress over, it landed on the couch, and then we threw the luggage onto the mattress over the balcony, which was only a floor. It was just a floor. Trying to make myself feel better about the situation, because I am not proud of this. But it was probably my worst moment on TV. But it's fine. We are all human and we make mistakes. That's what I tell myself to make me feel better. But so we just kicked her out of our room, old school challenge style. And like I said, drunk me saw my alliance threatened, and I was like, yeah, let's get her ass out, but let's keep these pillows because I could use the extra pillows.
So for you, it was about like the alliance, but like it seemed like maybe more of a personal type of thing with the other two girls, because like I mean they had that whole drama thing going on with the whole Natalie situation, and I don't know like what the deal was with that, but it seemed like maybe
honestly, till this day, I still don't know what that was about with like the whole Natalie situation and all that. Like I know there was a lot of like Natalie and Johnny drama going on, and I don't know, it was a very weird few weeks there because you had Natalie sleeping with Johnny. Well, not, they were just in the same bed together, you know. Yeah, they weren't hooking up, but they were just, you know, cuddling. Yeah. And then so you had that going on, and then you had me and Kayla. We had a whole secret alliance through a little bit of that season. And then turns out I couldn't trust, because I did the little, all right, I'm gonna tell her one thing, and then if this gets out, and like she's the only one I told this lie to, so if it comes back, like I know I can't trust, like this is a fake alliance, she's just trying to play me. And I'll be damned, someone came back to me and was like, oh, you oh, hold on, where are we at? There we are. Oh no, why'd you turn around? There it is. Sorry, my internet's been weird today.
Oh,
but yeah, so I said something to her to see if it would make it back to, I think it was Cam. And Cam came into me, she was like, hey, you know, I heard you were trying to get me sent into elimination. And I was like, no, I was like, not at all. I was like, I was just testing to see if I could trust her. I was like, Cam, you're my girl. You know, I would never. Like, you're good friends with one of my good friends from my hometown. Like, come on. Like, a queen respects a queen, and I respect you. You respect me. Like, no. Yeah. I should have filled her in on what I was doing prior, but when you're kind of trying to see someone's true colors, you don't really tell other people the agenda, you know? So I saw real quick that, Kayla and I weren't a true alliance. So I think, like I said, there was a lot going on that season that people don't even know about. So there was that, and then they all had their weird drama with Kaylee because Kaylee was secretly hooking up with Johnny Bananas. Yeah. And so that like brought out all kinds of stuff. So I think there was a lot of, I think Kayla probably felt threatened maybe by like Kaylee taking Johnny's like alliance more towards her side, you know, and away from Kayla's side. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So I feel like that's kind of what happened there. And you know, Jimmy's just always down for some fun drama. That's been Jimmy since day one of reality TV, you know?
Yeah.
And then me, I'm like, yeah, my alliance has been turned on. Let's go. God bless it. But yeah, so I'm glad that is done. But I love that Paramount Plus is up with all the episodes. I get the random ones like, you're such a bully. And I'm like, I'm actually not a bully at all. I just went old school challenge, and I didn't put it in the pool. We just threw it over the balcony.
Yeah, right. I mean, they could have built an indoor pool or something for you guys to drop that thing in, maybe.
No, that would have been nice.
That would have sufficed.
But I mean, remember back in the day on old school challenges, people's stuff would get thrown in the pool. All kind of stuff would end up, I think, in the ocean at one point. But no, I think the whole bed luggage situation, I think that was more of, for me, I felt threatened I was drunk. I felt my alliance was threatened. And when you've got $1 million possibly being taken from you, it's, you know, it brings out the worst in you. Money brings out the worst in everybody. And unfortunately, like I said, it's not my proudest moment. So that definitely was my little weak moment of the evil money can bring out in you, you know? But with the other two girls, like I said, I think Jimmy was more for her just because she likes drama. And I think Kayla, that was more of a personal situation for her. Because they actually had like heated arguments. Yeah.
Well, and speaking of Paramount Plus, I don't know if you knew this or not, but like the UK version of the challenge on it might be Netflix actually. I'm getting the two mixed up, but either way, your face is like dead center for the UK version of the challenge. Did you know that?
That makes me happy. I need to see this. I'm gonna find it. I'm gonna look it up.
Like this is your first time hearing about that?
Yeah.
I'm like genuinely surprised. It's like, no, because they released the challenge on the UK version of like Netflix or something like that, or Paramount Plus, whichever, or either way, your face is front center for the UK version of the challenge.
Hey,
it's
at
like,
least the UK loves me.
it's like Kyle, Joss, and then you in the middle.
I
for
love
vendettas.
it. Aww, right
That's
between
crazy.
my two honeys.
Yeah, right.
I love Joss. He's so sweet. Kyle too. Kyle's my crazy pirate, and I love Joss because I have long monkey toes, and Joss goes, Britt, with your freaking koala toes, get your koala toes away from me. He calls my toes koala toes, and with that beautiful accent, I'm like, make fun of my toes all day, honey. Go ahead.
I feel like Joss doesn't get like the proper like shine with like the edit. Like I feel like they try to make it look like he has zero personality, and then you see him on like social media, and then all these stories start to come out of they're like of how funny and like all this other stuff. It's like, well,
He's amazing. I love Joss is probably one of the funniest human beings. He is so goofy. He's like this he's kind of the perfect human. Like look at him, and he has the personality, like that fun, goofy, not arrogant at all personality. He's so humble. Like, and I'm sorry, but if I looked like a Greek god, I probably would not be as humble as him. Because he is just such a sweetheart, and he's like what you said, he's so funny. He is hilarious. I think for him, when he was on, he was always in a relationship, so I kind of think that diluted him a little bit from being who he actually is. Does that make sense?
Yeah, right.
So I think that's what it is more with Joss, because you see him on Instagram, he's so funny.
Yeah.
He's definitely one of my faves. He's great.
So coming into Final Reckoning, like how far into it did you know or did not know that Chuck was going to be your partner?
Okay, so I kind of heard the rumor mill that they saw Chuck there, and I was like, there ain't no way in hell Chuck's like, who is he now? Like no way. Well, then they took us on one bus up, and then they took the other half on the other bus, and we're like, all right, so who's all here and who's not here? We're like, okay, the people that we know, who are always on the show, they're not on here, so they're on a different bus. So at this point, we're like all looking at each other like, okay, who do you have drama with? What about you? Who you got stuff with? Okay, what about you? And there was at one point where we just saw, and like me, everyone I named, who was, I think I named, like it was Leroy, Veronica, and who was the other person? Hunter. I think it was Hunter. I was like, y'all are the only ones I would possibly have maybe drama with, and they were on the bus with me. Or no, actually, was Hunter on this? I don't think Hunter was on that season.
He came in as a mercenary.
That's what it was. Yep. So Lee, he's right there. Veronica, I don't even think she was on that season, actually. So I'm like, all right, Lee, you're the only one I have, like, drama with, but you're here. I'm like, who the hell? Like, all right, here we go. They gave us the walkie-talkies, and as soon as they had the voices covered, but, I mean, it was kind of janky. Like, I could still hear, and I knew immediately. I was like, you gotta be shitting me right now. Like, I can hear that voice. I knew it. And my little spidey sense was going off the whole time. I kind of knew my gut. Hey, a woman's intuition, man, I'll tell you. It's exactly what they say it is. It's definitely usually right, and I'll be damned. I was right. I should have known whenever I dug 2 graves, and it was still the wrong grave. I should have known that it was my ex, leading me to all the wrong graves, wasting my time.
What is like maybe your version of why you guys broke up?
Honestly, he's just, so his brother, it's funny. So when we first started dating, his brother told me, he was like, look, give you a heads up. He has a 2-year limit. He does this with every girl. After 2 years, he just kind of gets bored and moves on to the next one. I was, dumb young girls. I'll change him, whatever. Yeah, nope. That 2-year mark hit, and yeah, he did exactly what his brother said he was gonna do. So I was warned. I was just young and dumb, and I was like, no, I can change a man. Joke's on me. But it worked out beautifully, and he's living his best life. We're actually good friends now, and So one thing I could say is I'm good friends with all the exes. Me and Brad, we're cool.
Would you do exes, like an exes format with Brad?
Absolutely. Yeah. I definitely
What?
would. It would be tough, but I think us together as as partners, I think we would kill it 100% because he knows how to stay calm in like situations where I would panic, and he would he's a good teacher. Hence, I guess that's why he's a teacher. He's a good
Yeah.
teacher at teaching you what to do and not panicking and freaking out about it. And he's just, I think, competitive. Like I said, as competitive as I am now, since I actually have muscle on like the first 2 seasons I did, gosh, yeah, us together, I think we would absolutely kill an X season. Like we would slay it, and the drama would be interesting. For me, it would be the sexual tension. I'm curious to see what that would be like.
Yeah, right.
But yeah, I think we would definitely, yeah. That we need a good X season. I'm just saying, we need a good X season. I'm rooting for that one.
You're preaching to the right choir right now. This is the gospel. An exes season, we're at least like 3 years like in the making. At least 3 to 5. It's been like since we've been overdue for an exes.
And think about how many good exes we have. We have
Especially
so
right
many
now.
good
Oh my
ones.
God.
Yes. And they're all like competitive, like or like good TV. Like none of them are just like flies on the wall. Like literally every
Yeah.
It would be so good. Oh, it would be awesome. Hey, we never know. It could be the next one. You never know with these people. They always got some tricks up their sleeves, these damn producers. But that's why we love it.
Your feelings for Brad were genuine, right? Like,
yeah, absolutely. But I will say they were 100% genuine. I mean, Brad, he's a really good human. He truly is. I think for me and Brad, I just got out of a long-term 2-year relationship. He just got out of a 10-year marriage. So I think for both of us, we were kind of like a rebound for each other.
yeah.
And it wasn't like a purpose rebound. It was just that fun rebound to escape that reality out of all the chaos you just went through, you know? So it's like we were each other's peace in the storm.
Yeah. Did you feel like anything you did in the Redemption House would have warranted like Brad to want to break up with you at all, or was that like kind of exacerbated?
So it was definitely they made it a lot more sexual than what it was, not at all. So like there was one scene where you see me talking. I think Polly's like looking out the window, and me and Charles we're outside talking, and you see Polly looking out the window, and every time Polly's looking out the window, you hear me talking, and that's because they're doing a little voice thing over, and that was something I didn't say during that conversation. What was it? It was something about like me, like our sexual tension, how like it's hard to not jump his bones right now, or something like that. Yeah. It was something along those something. It was something weird. But yeah, and I was like, I did not say that about him or there in that conversation at all. And then I rewatched it, and I was like, that's why every time I'm saying those things, the camera's on Polly watching us out the window. All right. So they definitely made it. I mean, it made it for great TV, so I respect it. But
Yeah.
It definitely kind of put me in a sticky hole because it made me look worse than what I was in the house, and I was just a broken girl getting some closure. And then the twerk, I twerked on my ex's lap. It's not like I strip danced for him. Like, it was a twerk. My butt twerks when I walk. Like, it's just a twerker.
Yeah. I've seen like the word edit get like thrown around a lot, and it's usually like my favorite thing to ask people. Like, how did you feel about like maybe your overall like portrayal or edit on the show? Like more specifically, maybe Final Reckoning, because I'd say like they maybe geared towards like typecasting you as like the crazy ex-girlfriend or something like that.
Oh,
But
absolutely.
How
So
did you feel about that?
I was a little, so usually they played me off like pretty well, like me, who I am, like the little nudist, free, like happy, like whatever, cool. I'm here for a good time, not a long time type thing. But that they definitely played me off as kind of like the crazy ex, and it didn't help that like Davon and was doing her little commentary and all that. So that didn't help at all, but they definitely made me seem a little crazy when they knew the situation. And it was definitely, I wasn't really pleased with that one. That one kind of was disappointing because it was so real. Like,
Yeah.
but also out of that, I got a lot of females who went through what I went through and was like, good for you. Like, at least you got your closure. Like, I've been there, and they make it seem like I'm the crazy one. Like, I had a lot of females that could resonate with what
Yeah.
I was being aired as. And it's not that
Yeah.
I was being aired as that. Like, I actually was personally going through all those things. It's just that they didn't show really. Well, I guess it was the first episode that I immediately went to the Redemption House. So I guess I really didn't have much time to show anything that season except for a crazy side. But it didn't help, like I said, that they had Davon commentating on our relationship that she knew nothing about in the past, which made me seem crazier. You know what I'm saying? When as a female, you should understand what another female is going through as, after being literally just dropped like a hat,
Yeah.
So it definitely was at first I took it a little personally. I was like, really, MTV? Really? Like, you're gonna do that to me? Like, for real? And then whenever I started getting a little bit more of the messages from other females that are like, I've been through that, like, you're not crazy, like, you deserved every inch of that. I wish I would have gotten the opportunity that you did to get the closure. Like, I'm so sorry you got stuck in that situation. You didn't deserve, like, so I did luckily get a lot of females that, like I said, could resonate with what I was going through as well. So I was like, okay, thanks, girls. Y'all are making me feel a little bit better about my craziness.
Yeah. This will be a good final point though. Like, are there any of like maybe some of the people that you feuded with? Like, is any of those still like active? Like the Dave Vaughn one, of course, like comes to mind in particular. I think a lot of people would be curious as to like maybe your stance on like her now.
Oh yeah, fuck her. Pardon my French.
No, you're allowed to curse. I mean, I should have told you that earlier.
Yeah, I have the worst mouth. It's funny. Producers will be like, your interview is gonna be beep 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 beep, and I'm like, crap. I'm sorry. I'll try to not cuss. But no, so yeah, Davon, nah, that girl can eat shit till the day like I die. Like, I have no respect for her. I reached out to her actually before Final Reckoning aired. On Instagram. No, it was Twitter. The Homa Bullies. That's what I call Twitter, Homa Bullies. So on Twitter, people were like bashing her so much about her leaving her kid. Like, how dare you film your mom? And I went on there and stuck up for her. I was like, look, you guys, how dare you bash a mom trying to make a living for her daughter to have a good living? Like, she could win $1 million. Like, how dare you like wish bad things upon a mom just trying to have a good life for her child? Like, screw all of you, And then that's when she messaged me. She was like, thank you. I just want to give you a heads up that, I did say some funny commentary. It's exactly how she stated it. I said a lot of funny commentary in my interviews. Just don't take it personally. I really like you. And, commentary, I get how it is. You get caught up and you say something funny. I was funny. Okay, cool. And then I watched the episodes and I'm like, you are straight up like slandering my name, one, like just being a straight up bitch. Like, hold up, like, how fake of you to sit here and say this in this message. Then as soon as this aired, and I guess that you had some people like agreeing with you, you ran with that, completely disregarding like our messages of us being cool with one another. Like, I don't do stuff to be cool to get clout from fans. No, I do stuff like out of like my morals. Like, what's one? I'm a good human. Like, my morals are gonna stay good. I'm gonna stay who I am. Nothing's gonna change that. I had that one moment with the balcony situation with Kaylee, and that's it. Never again, So yeah, Davon really, that's one I don't think I'll ever be able to forget. Me and Jose, we're good friends now. Me and Paulie, we're all cool, but yeah, I think the one that I'll never be able to, Davon. That's one girl, like I said, she can eat shit. Even though now all her crazy fans are going to come attacking me, but I don't care because she is a very bad human individual. So, yeah. But that's the only one. Everyone else, I'm all peace and love.
Well, I mean, you never. I mean, I don't know if she would ever be willing to come back, but you might have secured yourself a rival partner at the very least. But
Oh God. Oh God. Hold on. Then I love her. That's my best friend, okay? Like, she's my girl. She comes over nightly. She comes to visit me.
yeah,
Shit, you're right. You got a valid point. I gotta stop doing that. I keep lining myself up with these rivals that I'm like, oh God, no, I don't wanna,
yeah.
not that one.
Hey, I mean, it's good that like you don't keep that like in the back of your mind though. A lot of people like I feel like are like, oh, when's the next rival season? I gotta find who am I gonna find? Who's gonna be my
Right.
partner? And then go and pick a fight. You know what I mean?
And they'll do that. Oh, they'll like purposely pick fights, and I'm like,
Yeah.
y'all stop. Like, I hate the fake drama. It makes me so mad because it's so obviously fake, and I'm just like shaking my head like, no, boo boo kitty, what are you doing? Like, no.
Yeah.
The authentic part of a fight is like what makes a fight so good. And these fake fights, I'm like, come on. You ain't fooling nobody. You ain't even fooling a 13-year-old with this fight. Like, we see you. Cut it out.
Yeah, yeah. Well, yeah, I appreciate you a lot for taking the time out today and allowing me to flap my gums for about an hour and 20 minutes. No, I'm kidding.
Hey, thanks for listening
No,
to me chat your head off. I could do this all day long. If you ever need someone
yeah,
to pop
yeah.
on, you know who to contact. I got you. This has been so much fun. And it's been fun to
Yeah, I mean,
reminisce. And
yeah, because
it's been
it's been a
fun.
minute for you, right?
Yeah, it's been like 3 years now. Yeah, this year's 3 years. So it's been a minute. It's been a minute. But your girl's never gone. I'm never gone. I'm always trained and prepared. Like I said, you guys have never seen the last of me yet.
Right, right. Well, I was glad that I was able to get you on today. You've been one of my dream guests for a while, actually. I've been wanting to get
Hey,
on here.
I'm blessed
So
for you to have me. Like, I can't thank you enough.
chalk that up to another bucket list, right? But yeah, thanks again for taking the time out. I'll let you know when this is out and up. And thank you again. Have a great rest of your day.
All right, thank you so much. Mwah. You have a great one, darling.
You too.
Bye,
Bye-bye.
babe.